Sunsplash Mix Show, and also welcome to Jamrock Reggae Cruise, the Solo Sailors. We're going to have a very special, now it's a quick check-in with Nikki Z. Nikki Z, what?
What's going on, y'all, Prince?
Listen, it's another year for Jamrock, but we have to start off with Nikki Z, in music, out of music, traveling the world, rebranding. Your legacy is now going to be expanded. You're in a different territory, a different city, a different continent. What have you really been doing in 2023?
After I left Jamrock, I had a lot of kind of just self-reflection to do, because before Jamrock, I actually took a trip to Tanzania, and it was just like an eye-opener for me. And I just felt like I wanted to experience more of the continent. I was already familiar with Kenya. Before I even came here physically, my show was aired out here, Homeboys Radio. Big up the G Money for making that happen. So I already had like a little connection to this part of the continent. So that trip, and just, I said I need to take a step back to really assess what I want to do. Because I know with the new music that's been coming out, to talk straight, I don't feel it. And I'm not one of those DJs that can just DJ what somebody tells me is hot. I'm one of the people, not even a DJ. I'm not a person that can play music just because somebody tells me it's hot. I'm a person that I feel it, like it goes through my bones. Like, this is not formal training. This is pure creativity when it comes to me. So I didn't understand what my place would be. I mean, radio is radio, but once again, that becomes humdrum going through the motions. And for me, I feel like there was something more. There is something more. So I just made a decision to travel. At first, I knew I was going to come to Africa. I didn't think I was going to stay as long. You know, I went to Peru first. Yeah. Came back, went to California, came back, went to Kenya again. Then I decided to, I spent like 2 months on Diani Beach, which is a coastline in Kenya. Then I decided to check out Ghana, because I heard everybody saying that this is the place, the next place. A lot of people compare it to Jamaica. I spent 4 months there just to kind of assess it and see what was going on. And I learned a lot, like not just from Ghana, but just talking to the people, going back and forth from Tanzania, Kenya. And I've started to realize that reggae music is, first of all, I've already known it's so loved. It's so respected. But right now it's in danger on the continent, so that's why I decided to stay longer, because I feel like maybe there's something over here I can do to help the connection. And it's not in danger because Afrobeats is growing. That's like the smallest way you could explain it. That's the minute of it. The real truth of the matter is, yes, it's growing, but when you think about numbers and money, if I'm a promoter and I have a bunch of homegrown artists that are doing these numbers, and these numbers pass a lot of our biggest artist numbers, why am I going to pay 8 plane tickets, first class, all these hotels? Why am I going to do all of that and then make my profit less? In reality, in business, it's just not something that's realistic for anybody to expect. So while our artists haven't changed their prices, they haven't changed their way of thinking about when it comes to Africa, Africa is moving on. But they love Jamaica to the heart. Like, the amount of love I get the minute they realize I'm Jamaican, every country I've been to so far, and word on the street is this is a unified thing around the continent. I will let you know, because I'm staying and I'm going to keep going to different countries. But I realized that we need to start taking our own money. Just like when some of our artists want to get hype and they want to throw an album launch in New York or Miami because they feel like that's where the most Jamaicans are at. Well, guess what? Jamaica's like this big. America might be this big, but it's very much divided between people who don't care about reggae at all because there's so much other stuff going on. Africa, and it's concentrated Black, us, and a whole lot of us that love us. So if you don't start thinking, and we don't start thinking differently and stop going them, us, and they're defeating. No, if we don't start just coming over here and paying homage to the numbers of millions of streamers that are walking around this continent, because their stream numbers are insane out here.
Crazy.
So if we don't start saying, I'm just coming here to meet my fans, if we don't start doing that, we're going to get lost in the fold, because these new DJs don't know the new music out here. And they're not exactly well versed in the history of the older music. Times are changing. So guess what? We got to step up the game. So I decided, I was going to take a year. I decided this year is going to be extended. So
that's what we love to hear that. Like you said, sometimes we in the music fraternity, we needed to have someone boots on the ground. We needed to have Nikki Z, your perspective. Not that you just weren't hearing it. And like you said, salute to G Money. Like you were already infiltrated as a music professional. But now on the ground, you're meeting people, you're traveling. And what do you think is that other missing piece? Besides the artist actually engaging, taking 2 months to visit 4 countries, it's not unrealistic.
Real talk, don't even need 2 months. You can take a couple of weeks. Right now, I'm actually strategizing and getting all of the proper media people in line. So I know that when an artist come here, they can call me directly and say, Nick, I want to do a album launch or a quick media tour in Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria. I'll have all this in place by 2024 for sure. It's already moving. That's why I started an email blast. What else we need to do? We need to make sure they get service to music, and not just service to music. Start doing what you did old school. You know how you used to send all of the big DJs drops just because, it gets your music played more? Do that over here. The amount of love and support you would get just because you sent one of the DJs out here a drop and stuff, it adds to money. So instead of sitting down and just thinking about how much you can get a paycheck for one booking, you really need to take your own, and you can make the money back, because the way I see these media tours that I'm going to set up is every single stop, you're going to have your album launch, you're going to have a show, and I'm learning a lot of the different promoters to find out who are the real good ones versus the scammers. Shout out to people like Stoneboy, Pato Rankin, G Money. They're like my rocks. I always verify things through them. So they're very helpful. You know what I mean? And they love reggae to their heart. Like the amount of stuff that Stoneboy does in Ghana for the reggae industry. And it's like, we're not doing enough to support him back. He has his BIM festival, and just hearing what artists want to charge him or what they want, you should come for free. Let's be real. And then you got, of course, Pato Rankin, who has his festival. He's huge in Nigeria and Ghana. He literally takes his money and does his album launch across the continent as well. So why aren't we doing it?
I love it. I love it. We're talking to Nikki Z. We only have her for a short amount of time. Oh, no. There's a lot of solo sailors who this is their first time on Jamrock. They didn't want to hear it from me. I'm a guy. I really don't understand the questions that some women, some young women, some single women, some mothers, some wifeys, some son. So as a woman traveling on Jamrock, and tell me, how safe is it, and how late at night, and how is traveling on Jamrock?
You want me to talk specifically to the ladies?
Please.
All right. Married ladies, once you are super comfortable with your husband, you're going to have a ball and a half. If you have doubts about your husband's fidelity, you're going to have to keep your eyes on him. Single ladies, y'all be getting wild on that ship sometimes. I've even had some of the men complain about the way they get dragged, but their complaining is more like, Nikki, I too much of them in no weird figure. So, the men have the advantage. However, even though we're usually the bigger numbers on the cruise, it's always so much fun because it's more like this sisterhood, this vibe, this energy. So if you're going on there like, oh, I'm going to go find a husband, I mean, good luck to you. It might happen, but you're going to ruin your fun. Yeah, you're going to ruin your fun. You are. So, and then when it comes to activities, you're never going to be too bored. You can't get lonely because you're never going to be bored. If you ever sit in your room for a second and feel lonely, something is happening on the ship. We're talking about starting up the day with the Naya Bingi drums. After that, you can do the yoga, the workout with Camille. There's so much to Empress with yoga. You could do the day party, of course. The food place is always open, but I do not advise making that a vice because we all gain like 10 pounds. We go on there, some flat belly, and come out pregnant. Food belly. Okay. So after that, I mean, the day party is always rocking. You have some fun artists who perform. I would love more people to get out for the day party, though, because sometimes the cruises be too drunk and hungover and miss some of the best moments in the day party. So don't miss the day parties. Yeah. The day party, then you have the big concert. That's always everybody all together. After party, different themes. Get your all white together. Rep your flag. Make sure you have your military gear together for the clash, because you know how you have to come out for the clash. And then after the parties is the after party. because nobody sleeps. So the concert, then after party, and then it normally turns into like the artist taking over in the after party. So if you fall asleep before the after party, you might miss the most wickedest vibe session with your favorite artist. And not to mention, your artists are chilling on the ship, walking around the ship. They want to meet you on the ship. And all of us, most of us who are return cruisers, we love it, the family atmosphere. So we're going to pull you in. There's no way you're going to feel left out, because us who are veterans of this, we're going to recognize that you look a little timid, and somebody's going to come over and they're going to be like, hey, come over here. We good. You want some of this?
Right.
We got you.
We got you.
We got you. It's like, this is
it.
why I can't miss this cruise. This is why.
Yeah. It's a completely new vibe for a lot of people who've been going to landlocked festivals, and there was a restriction, and then there's a crowd. On that ship, there's enough space, right? Enough elbow room, and ladies, you know, dress comfortably. It might get a little windy, but it might get really, really hot.
Leave them heels at home. That ship don't play, and it rocks the entire time. So every step you take is like you just walked 20 steps to one step. I'm not even joking with you. So if you're going to do those heels, it's going to feel like you doing a mountain climb in heels, trying to get through where you got to go. So don't do those heels. I mean, you might want to risk it, but I recommend being as comfortable on the feet as possible. Everybody on the ship understands. Everything else be cute, but they will understand if your feet are more comfortable than cute, you know. And you can be cute and comfortable. So
better be cute than better be comfortable and cute, but more comfortable than cute. One of the things that people have been asking, we can be our own private group, because there's groups of AKAs and Omegas, and then we have different KC old boys, and we have a different alumni associations. People are celebrating anniversaries and things on the ship. So the solo sailors, at the pre-party, of which you're going to be a host, we might be doing a little flash dance. We might be all doing the drift. So tell them the fun that's actually had at the pre-party before we sail.
Yeah, that the pre-party also sets a precedent, because that's where, once again, you get to meet all of the veteran cruisers, because a lot of them come out. You know, you do have a few that stay in because they try to sleep. You know, they try to get a rest before, because they know what happens. But a whole lot definitely comes out. And it's also other people that come too, people who aren't even going to be on the ship. So what you get is this big melting pot of old, young, just every lover of reggae music from all around the world, just having a good pre-party time. It's really, and there's the best DJs. And Tony Matron is back this year. So if you don't know Tony, you know he gonna act up, right? Like, you know he gonna act really crazy, like to the next level of crazy, because he missed last year. So look out for that. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. For those who need to contact you for business, because they have to show their support, and they need to get some of this information from the first-hand basis directly, Nikki Z, how do they contact you?
Yeah, if you really wanna, if you're a producer, you wanna do my e-marketing blast. If you're an artist, you know, management company, you want to arrange a media tour, anything like that you want to do, or even a regular group and you want to do a travel tour to some of the places I've been, I've actually set myself up to be able to do that for you too. So Tanzania, Kenya, Ghana, I got you. You know, there's a lot of things I'm working on for 2024. So you can always go to our website, NikkiZlive.com. Or you can also just email me, NikkiZ@NikkiZlive.com. That's also on the website. So you can hit me up there as well. And I'm just looking forward to seeing you, Job Prince, you know, Select the Princess is going to be in the building. Big up to my boy, Maddow. He's like my favorite person. Shout out to, of course, Lastafa representing Hawaii. I'm so happy our Grammy winner, Kabaka Pyramid, is on the ship. I almost fainted when I heard Nadine Sutherland, "This is for my baby face." I'm gonna be screaming, you know. So there's just, and then Wayne. When I saw Wayne, I don't know if some people understand. Do you know how long it's been since I've seen Wayne touch a stage? That man is going to light a fire that is unbelievable. Lava. Listen, I have waited all year for there's nothing else that could call me and take me away from Africa, the continent, at all, except for this Jamrock or a whole big wad of money. And we're talking more than 5 digits. So for now, I'm gonna stay here, but you will always be able to catch me at Jamrock for sure. And yeah, Ja Prince, I'm gonna see you there. We gonna act up. We gonna act up. Oh wait, I shouldn't say nothing else should get me from the continent. I'll be traveling to other areas too. Because just like Peru, the reggae industry there, I want to check out the reggae industry all across this world, this globe. So that's the mission I'm on. That's what I mean by it. I'm pausing everything else for this.